Your Bitcoin is not sold. What am I trying to say? Bitcoin is life force. Bitcoin is essential to life. Don't waste away on life. Be energy efficient, correct? I provide you with energy so that the fire doesn't die out. Don't let the fire run out if it's the only thing keeping your family from freezing, correct? You are capable of doing great things and your life is lovely. Refrain from jumping off a cliff, correct? You also got economic energy from Satoshi. It's something you can own, capture, and preserve. Don't discard it. Economically, over the last 4 years, the price of Bitcoin has increased by 50% annually. You gave up the world's best performing asset each time you sold it to purchase what? The victor to purchase the defeated. When will you be selling Bitcoin? You sell your Bitcoin when someone in your family passes away. Yes, you trade it and take out loans against it when necessary to preserve your life and the lives of people you love, but all you really need is one chair. Your Bitcoin is not sold. All other things are subpar. By the way, everything in the world is set up to persuade you to sell your Bitcoin. Everyone wants you to exchange your Bitcoin for their stock, concept, hedge fund, or whatever else they own. It's important to remember that nobody is getting rich by asking you not to give them your money. Often, diversification entails buying the losers and selling the winners. Michael Saylor mentioned this as one of the 21 laws of Bitcoin in his most recent keynote speech at Bitcoin Prague 2024. One of the biggest Bitcoin events of the year, Bitcoin Prague, just ended. Michael Saylor's keynote address, in which he outlined his own set of 21 guidelines for Bitcoin, was the major event. It was a masterclass, as always. We'll examine the first 10 Bitcoin regulations in this video. Let us get started without any further ado. 4.0. To discuss the 21 Bitcoin rules, I'll begin with the first rule. Those that comprehend Bitcoin purchase it, and those who do not critique it. And a paradigm change demonstrates how profound it is. People will discuss it, and it's unclear if you comprehend it as long as you're discussing it. When something starts to make sense to you, you won't merely talk about it or offer criticism. You're going to take off. Not stroll to the closest location where Bitcoin can be purchased. And when it made sense to me, I knew I had to purchase it. However, there are plenty of people in the globe that disagree with it. They criticize it because they do not understand the paradigm change at this point. Should you find it unsatisfactory, you will receive 10,000 critiques. Second rule, before anyone is in favor of Bitcoin, they are all against it. Correct? It is understandable why this individual opposes Bitcoin. What makes this banker opposed to Bitcoin? What makes this bank opposed to Bitcoin? This politician opposes Bitcoin. Why? They oppose Bitcoin because they lack knowledge about it. Everyone will object to it. We're going to present this really important new concept. Because rejecting it is the normal human response to a sound political system, sound institution, and sound intelligence. This is not anything to be depressing. That shouldn't come as a surprise. The fact that this would occur is very normal. Third rule, how do you know you comprehend Bitcoin? You'll know you understand Bitcoin, though, when you accept that you'll never really grasp it. You haven't entirely gotten it yet if you believe you understand it, if you've studied it, and if you're confident in your understanding. Those who truly embrace Bitcoin are aware of it. They understand that there's always more to learn about Bitcoin. Never. What is a Bitcoin? Bitcoin is more than simply its software, protocol, or how you or other users interact with it. It's more than just how Bitcoin works, the cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is a virus. There are 3 types of viruses: monetary, ideological, and economic. It will reverberate across space and time. Therefore, in order to comprehend Bitcoin, one must comprehend how the current adopter groups will interact on layers 2, 3, 4, and 5. You must comprehend how layer 1 and layer 2 protocols will be used by layer 3 applications to communicate with one another. You have to be considering what, in 10, 50, or even 100 years, individuals who haven't even heard of Bitcoin will be doing with it. To comprehend Bitcoin, one must consider what 10 billion users will be doing with it through 300 million distinct institutions in a century, as well as potential extensions and protocols that haven't been thought of or created yet. Therefore, the true extent of Bitcoin becomes apparent when you take into account how the concept will reverberate through space, time, complexity, and the countless ways that humanity might organize itself. How will Bitcoin be used by an artificial intelligence AI that is formed in 10 years and lives in cyberspace 50 years later, merging with a million other AIs? Correct? There is a significant domino effect here. Cyberspace is ablaze. It spreads throughout space, time, mankind, and all the many traces of humanity. Naturally, once you grasp that notion, you come to the realization that you truly don't know what 8 billion people, 300 million corporations, or a billion future developments have on their minds. And humility and a desire to learn more about Bitcoin follow along with it. You can never know enough about Bitcoin. Fourth rule. Chaos is what drives Bitcoin. You are lending money to a nation when you take it out, deposit it in a bank, and save it. In fiat money. You are lending money to a company's management team when you take your money and purchase stock. You are lending money to the mayor of a city when you take it and use it to purchase a building. You are lending and investing your money in a culture when you take your money and purchase an artwork. You are basically lending your money to the lords of entropy when you purchase Bitcoin. Your money is being lent to the gods of chaos. Which is the wager? It's a gamble that chaos will triumph over nations, businesses, cities, and civilizations. It's an insightful notion. I situate you in pre-World War II Europe. I offer you a large sum of money along with an option. Any land in any nation is available for purchase. Any building is available for purchase. In Europe, any corporation can be owned. In Europe, art is owned. You can put money into European bonds and currencies. Assume I provide you the option to purchase any asset in any country that is about to enter hostilities. In World War II, or you could be the owner of the sole Swiss bank that would house all of the fighters' funds. And as you can see, pandemonium results when everyone deposits money in your Swiss bank and a metaphorical war breaks out. For entropy and chaos increased in 4 years. You come to understand that every building is unstable and might blow up, that every business will most likely fail, that any piece of land could be worthless, that rental agreements and rents will most likely be ripped up, and that all currencies will eventually depreciate.